OMG. Sun Ye-jin reveals Yeonbin's secret life amid rumors of a rift. Hello from Spotlight. We're so glad you're here. If you enjoy deep dives, gentle gossip, and the warm, ridiculous truths that make celebrities feel human, please support our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and share. And whatever you do, watch until the very end of this piece and the video. We've tucked a few special surprises and extra facts into the final moments that you won't want to miss. No one saw this coming. Sun Ye-jin, in a moment that felt equal parts confession and bedtime story, has opened a small window into the private life of Yeonbin, the man whose on-screen calm has made millions sigh into their popcorn. The notes she left us aren't scandalous. They're softer, stranger, and far more disarming. A portrait of a superstar who prefers quiet mornings, handwritten notes, and classical music to red carpets and headline-grabbing gestures. If you've ever wondered what Yeonbin is like when the cameras stop rolling, keep reading. His real life, as told by the woman who knows him best, is unexpectedly lovely. The reveal that started the gentle uproar. The internet's reaction was immediate and unanimous, not outraged, but oddly protective. Sun Ye-jin didn't expose secrets to shock the public. She described small, intimate habits that read like tiny acts of devotion. He never complains, she said. He'll stay quiet for hours, then suddenly smile as if nothing happened. But I know he's thinking deeply about things he can't say. Those words did something rare. Instead of inviting speculation, they invited empathy. What followed online was not a pile-on but a pile of virtual bouquets. Fans wrote messages that sounded less like fandom and more like a global group therapy session. Please rest, Yeonbin, we see you, and thank you for being human. It's oddly heartening that in a world hungry for drama, a whisper of vulnerability could quiet the noise. The monk-like routine of a movie star. If you picture every A-list routine as breakfast in a sea of paparazzi and kale smoothies, think again. Sun Ye-jin described a daily life that sounds almost monastic. Early rising, disciplined exercise, quiet mornings for reflection, and a deliberate avoidance of constant phone checking. He uses classical music, she joked, or maybe solemnly admitted, as a kind of emotional steadying balm. It's the kind of detail that suddenly explains the serenity he carries on screen. An actor's ritual that turns into an actor's armor. There's charm and comedy in the contrast. The star who can make an entire nation swoon in a single close-up also spends his downtime listening to Beethoven or Bach and leaving tiny notes that read like haikus for domestic life. Have a good day, or don't overwork. Grand gestures, not his style. Humble, handwritten words, absolutely. Quiet strength, loud effect. Sun Ye-jin's description of Yeonbin as someone who solves problems with silence flips the usual celebrity story on its head. We expect fireworks or melodrama. Instead we're given a patient, private man who thinks before he reacts. Initially she mistook his silence for indifference. Later, she recognized it as processing. That kind of steady, considered presence. The sort of behavior writers call quiet strength, is the very thing that, in Sun Ye-jin's words, drew her to him during Crash Landing on You. If you rewatch some of his most electric scenes with this in mind, the skill is clearer. His silences contain whole paragraphs. Sun Ye-jin suggested that the sincerity in his performances comes from lived emotions, carried in private, small burdens, private doubts, and a careful, persistent striving to be better for the people he loves. In short, the guy's heart apparently writes the best scripts, the small domestic moments that feel cinematic. The romance in their life, as shared by Sun Ye-jin, is less of a fireworks display and more of a cinematic montage made from ordinary frames. Cooking together, arguing amicably over which film to watch, midnight ramen, laughter that bubbles like the last scene of a cozy rom-com. These are the scenes that make fans whisper, "This feels real," because it does. It reads like the private footage that never meant to be viral. One detail is almost cartoonishly sweet. His habit of leaving tiny, handwritten notes. Not full to the brim declarations, but clipped phrases that mean everything. Have a good day becomes a talisman. Don't overwork becomes love in a sentence. It's endearingly low-key and, for some fans, More romantic than any red carpet kiss. The protective instinct, and a public plea. To rest. Not everything Sun Ye-jin revealed was rose petals and movie night charm. She also spoke to a protective instinct in Hyun Bin. He takes responsibility seriously, often putting others before himself, his team, his family, his fans. That stance is admirable and, as she put it, worrying. I wish he'd remember that it's okay to rest, too, she said. This line resonated. Fans pivoted from adoration to concern, flooding social media with encouragement for him to prioritize his well-being. There's something refreshingly human about a fandom that rallies not for a new project or a scandal, but for someone to get 8 hours of sleep. How vulnerability makes a superstar more beloved. The reaction to Sun Ye-jin's words revealed a cultural hunger for authenticity over sensationalism. Her candidness didn't tarnish Hyun Bin's image, it humanized it. Fans felt like they were allowed, briefly, to step behind the velvet rope and meet the man who delivers those unforgettable, sigh-worthy glances. And beyond fandom, there's a lesson for anyone who has ever placed a celebrity on a pedestal. They're people, complicated and imperfect. The reveals here are not confessions to scandal but invitations to understand the pressures and quiet pains that sit behind public perfection. A love story that reads like a gentle moral. If you strip away the celebrity, what remains is a simple thesis. Love, at its most stubborn and most genuine, is made of small things. Hyun Bin and Sun Ye-jin, according to the portrait she painted, love each other not through spectacle but through habit, notes on a desk, shared meals, quiet laughter. It's the antidote to an era that often believes louder equals truer. Sun Ye-jin didn't expose him to shock or to sow rumors of discord. She reminded the public that sometimes the most powerful revelations are tender ones. That the person we thought we knew through filters and screen time is feeding the same midnight ramen, leaving the same little notes, and preferring the same gentle music. Final thoughts and the special tidbit we promised. So what do we take away? That Hyun Bin's secret life, as described by Sun Ye-jin, is not a headline-grabbing scandal but a quiet, genuine existence built on discipline, thoughtfulness, and an old-fashioned love of small gestures. It's the kind of revelation that doesn't break a heart, it repairs one. What do you think about Sun Ye-jin's words? Do you find Hyun Bin's quiet nature more admirable than dramatic confessions would have been? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We love reading every single note. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell on the Spotlight channel so we can keep bringing you the stories behind the stars.